Morning, what's up, y'all? It's Jordan Martin with Martin Investment Group, Martin Stock Club. There are three stocks I'm looking at today, which is February the 16th. It is a Thursday. Roblox had earnings. They shot up after hours, came all the way back down as we entered pre-market. And what's interesting is now they're holding a support level pre-market, right? So we see the low right here that we had on the 1 hour, and we see how we're holding it right now. Let me switch to extended hours. So you can see, right, how we came holding this level, right? So this little zone here is going to be important because if we break down from this low, which is at 43.15, then we can start looking at it moving back down into the gap fill, which you can see easier on the regular time frame, right, without extra hours. So that's what I'm looking at for Roblox to trade it. There's going to be a lot of volatility. It's also trading within the hour candle right here, right? So we can get a breakout to the upside, start shooting back up if we can break above those highs. But in the meantime, there's a couple ways to take it. Take it to break down, could take the breakout, or trade the range, right? If we drop it down to a smaller time frame, right, you can see that price action has pretty much stayed inside this area here. And looking at capitalizing on this move back up can give you a 3%, 3.5% move on a day. So it's not going to be too bad, especially since a lot of the IV from the contracts will have dwindled down since earnings have come out already. Switch over to DIA, with the Dow Jones ETF. And this one's pretty simple. This one's just an inside day candle. Go ahead and clear up the chart real quick, make it easier to see. All right, so inside day, but we notice that we also have our resistance here. And we have the trend line there, right? So we're getting an ascending triangle going on. I'm looking for this to break out. If we can break above 343.50, let's say 343.55. We can get above there, then we can start seeing us move back up to test these levels a little higher. All right, and that's going to be pretty good bullish movement. We can see these levels are just derived from right here, right? And that's going to be giving us the ascending triangle breakout, and then we can start charting off targets based on that. What looks like it might happen, just based off of pre-market so far, is that we might go ahead and come back down here. We had PPI data today, so that's going to be something that will impact the market a little bit. But ultimately, we can see a move back down here to retest this trend line, and that will give a great opportunity to go long, because not only is that going to be a trend line testing, but it's also going to be a demand zone getting tested right here. If we come down and look at this, where we see that previously we've had all these wicks bouncing out, right? So this is a nice little buy area if we can get the pullback, put the stop loss right below this low, and you have room to run up here, giving you a pretty decent risk to reward as well. We can set that up just so we can see it, right? So giving you a little over a 5 risk to reward, 5 to 1 here. So good setup there. And then Alibaba inside day. Just looking for that to hold. Alibaba has had a big move back down. After the big move up, we still have gaps below that can get filled, right? So we're not in the clear on those completely yet, but it's a possibility that we will see those come soon, maybe just not right now, right? So a lot of room below on Alibaba, but we have had a pretty good pullback as well. Let's throw an RSI on here just to look at that and see if there's any time frames we might expect a little bounce on based on that. So let's go to a 3. Cool. So on the 3 hour, you see that we shot down. RSI has been oversold. All right. So we know that doesn't mean it has to go back up, but it's a little easier to see how it's been basing out. And that is what's going to give us the idea that we can look to get a bounce back up, right? And since we come down to the smaller time frames, we can see levels where we can bounce back up to before rejecting. I don't think Alibaba will make that big move back, but I do think that if it can break out of this range here, we can break out of there, then I think we do go up and get to the gap fill, right? And so this high was 103.44. So I'm just setting alert for 103.45. And then if that breaks, I'll look at getting calls or going long to target the gap fill at 104.25. And there you have it. So as always, like, comment, share, subscribe. Link to the Discord. We live trade, call out options trade, and teach every single day is in the description. Y'all make some money today. It's almost Friday. Have a good day, y'all.